All right.
Oh, we are live, right?
Yes, we are live.
That's fantastic. That's great. Well, good afternoon for those who are already live. I see 16 people online.
Yeah, see everyone in chat. Hey, everyone. We see those reactions. Last day of being online, huh? That's where we're at. One more COVID.
Jacob, hi. Cecilia, hi. Hello. Melissa, hi. Leah, hi. Who else? Is there any Q&A session on the final pitch? This is Yu Guan. There is going to be definitely a feedback round, less a Q&A, so less questions, more feedback, right? Dillion, bonsoir, Ataberg. Hey there.
Ooh, some good mornings.
Do we have some good mornings? Okay.
Yes. Some people woke up very late today. Could be a morning or some time zone.
Hello, Ataberg. Hey guys.
Yes.
See some more people coming in.
Just
How many people we have in class now? We have 9 teams times what? An average of 4,
We
right?
should have 45 people here.
45.
Yes. Sending an announcement once again.
No, we are not even at 50% right now. How is everybody doing? You guys want to share some stories? What was anybody hurt through what happened today, or anything that maybe there's one or the other person who has more updates, but the most recent. I'm glad to hear, Leah. Fortunately, safe so far. That's great. Any updates? Maybe people that came close to the environment. I know that Manan lives actually pretty close. I've heard of helicopter. Ken Singer actually called me this morning, or right when it happened, and said, today we don't need to go on stadium. Safe and sound, Gonzalo. That's really good. Armand, great to see you. Hello all. Manan,
Yes.
are we doing this, Manan?
Contribution chat. Yeah, Tommaso, would you like to show your wonderful publication?
No, don't say it. We have only 20 people online.
Okay.
Don't say it, Manan.
We'll hold on.
He didn't say it.
Yes.
There's something that I want to show you today, guys. Good hook, exactly. We have a good hook. By the way, speaking of hook, I'd be curious to understand who saw the video about the storytelling. Who saw the video about storytelling that we shared? That there was a guy who called Tommaso, who shared 2 hours at the Google Launchpad about how to enchant an audience of investors. Who saw it? Anybody?
Yes, looks like we're getting some thumbs up. A lot of people saw it.
Nobody? Just now, thumbs up. Who go on? Okay, great. Only one person. That's a poor conversion rate. That's no traction. Here, Jacob. Well, Jacob, I know you saw it because I sensed it when you guys pitched it. That's really cool. So 2 people. Only 2 people saw it. Wow. Leah, you saw it too. Okay, 3. So what are we doing? Are we kicking off things, or are we waiting? Or I mean, this Berkeley time is getting longer and longer, right?
Yeah, I think we can go ahead and get started. Okay.
We get started.
Yeah.
It's 45. The video, Facebook, Manan shared it again. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Well, guys, everything in life has a beginning, and everything comes almost to the 11 ingredients of success. Oh, thank you, Manan, sharing it. Everything has a beginning, and everything comes an end. Everything is a cycle. And we are getting to the very last hours of our dApp course 2022. Who is excited, guys? Who is excited? Make some noise. You know, I believe in a world, and I have a vision to all of you, okay? I'm now expressing my my blessings. I have a vision that in a couple of months, or maybe years, or maybe days, or weeks, who knows, but in the near future, I hope that one of you will reach back out to us, maybe to me, to the team here, and say, hey, I was part of the dApp course 2022. And look at my multi-billion-dollar company that is impacting the world. I really believe in that. I really believe in that. And I hope that we were able, and I hope that I contributed in any capacity to plant a seed, the seed of curiosity, the seed of the crazy entrepreneurship, right? Navigating through the unknown unknowns, right? I'm still in this journey. I think that I will be closing my eyes one day. Who knows? No, only God knows, right? And I'll be still exploring the world because this is who I am, right? And I hope we meet in the market. You know, maybe we make and break things together, guys, right? Yes, I do a lot of stuff. This would not be my first startup. It would not be my last startup. So for those of you who are creative and would like to embark on something with me, feel free to reach out. It is an amazing, amazing time. Today I had 2 interviews, one with Forbes, one with Inside, and there is a reason for that. And they said, well, when are you launching your next startup? I said, you know, Tommaso is baking. So Tommaso is in the making. Still early days, so please reach out. Let's bounce off some ideas. Let's have some coffees. I was about to say beers, but I don't want to say, you know, alcoholic drinks at the universities, right? And the reason, so feel free to reach out to connect. If you say, Tommaso, I don't want to do startup because I actually understood that it's too challenging. It's too unstructured. We cannot foresee things, right? Then you definitely are going to shift into the professional life. If there is anything that I can do for you, Tommaso can do for you, for any one of you, Leah, Yuguan, Manan, Gonzalo's, Tim, Armand, Ataberg, right? All of you, right? Beer's word. Rijba, right? Shuban, right? So please reach out, connect with me on whatever, LinkedIn, and send me an email, right? Feel free to stay in touch. I would really love to, right? Yesterday, around 10 a.m. in the morning, I got delivered a package. And in this package, I have received a very pleasant gift that did not come as a surprise because I actually had been working on that. Let's see if somebody knows what Tommaso could have received. Now I can see who is following Tommaso. Let's see. Congratulations. Oh, Rijba. Exactly. Navigating the metaverse. It's here, guys.
Yeah, huge congratulations.
It's published by Wiley. That, by the way, I'm humbled, right? By the way, this is globally the first book that is being published by a publisher On the topic of metaverse, it is globally the first book which is co-authored by a female. Go females! We need more females in entrepreneurship, right? Which is Kathy Hackle, a good friend of mine. And for those who are interested, obviously, in metaverse, they might have heard of Kathy Hackle, right? And a good friend of mine, also Dirk Lute, who is the co-founder of Upland, right? Which, yeah, so I am here extending, absolutely, Jacob, yep, go female. I'm here extending the following, okay? Everything in life, especially when it comes to startups, is a competition. For those of you who were in class a couple of weeks ago, I gave all of you who were in class, at least each team, I gave my first book, right? I signed it, right? This one here is not even on the market. It's published by Wiley, and is available at the Barnes and Nobles. By the way, I'm not doing any publicity here. If you guys say stop it, Tommaso, I move right away over. I think that this is just of value for the class, right? It's available on Barnes and Nobles. I would have loved to receive way more author copies, but because it's only available on the 3rd of May and we are kind of overlapping, I don't have enough copies to give each and everyone one of the book copies. But what I will do is I will be giving the winner team. When is it? Next week? When is the finale, Manan?
Yes, it is 1 week from today for the final pitch.
Wow. Right? What did you say? When is it, Manan?
1 week from today is our finale. Yeah.
So I will be having 4 or 5 copies of this book, which is not even on the market. That's the only reason, because I can only bring 4 or 5 copies, right? And I will hand out the 4 or 5 copies to the winners. I'm actually thinking, how many teams do we have?
We have 9 teams.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. How about that, guys? I lied. I will be giving. Okay, so you guys decide. Let's do it like in a DAO, okay? Either Tommaso brings 9 copies, 9, 1 for each team, which ultimately that's the maximum I can do because I don't have more. Or I'll bring 5 and give it to the winner team. Should we create a short live poll here? Create a poll.
Yes.
You want to do it, Manan?
Let me. Oh, I believe. I don't know if those permissions. Yeah, go for it, please.
So I create a poll. What is it you prefer? 5 books for the winner team. 9 books /1 per team. Publish. I love this tool. It's really cool. Show poll on stage. Yes. Let's see, poll on stage. Three votes, 5 votes. Oh, okay, that's getting tight. 27 people online. 27 people online, 15 votes, 16 votes. Okay, can we get more votes? We are 18 votes. Let's see if we can get 20 votes. Let's get to 20 votes. We have 18 votes. 77% says 9 books, 22 says 5 books. Why out of 27 are, okay, we have 19 votes. It's getting tighter. Manan, what do you think? Is it 9? Is it going to be 5?
Let's see. I mean, looks like currently we're at 9. That's my prediction.
Right now we are at 9, but we have still 8 people who have not voted. Can I vote? No, close poll. I cannot vote. Okay, cool. Let's keep this poll up. And right now, it looks like Tommaso is bringing 9 books. And then I'll bring you 9 books. Okay, cool, guys. As of right now, it will be 9 books for each of everyone. And then we'll do some hangouts. If you guys would like a signature and you think it's of kind of value, you guys want to do an NFT out of that, happy to do that. For today, I would like actually to thank all of you, for being part of the class. And I would like to thank all of you to make me part of this product, which is called Learnings, because I learn the best with you guys. My motivation is exactly that. So I would like to humbly thank all of you. I hope I could contribute in any capacity. I would like also to apologize if there have been some misunderstandings, if there have been a mismatch of expectation, but that is life, right? Life is exactly like that. Work is like that. School is like that. Family is like that, right? I am still a product in beta, meaning always learning every single time. I'm version beta, okay? And today, I'm available for you guys, okay? So today I said, I don't want to structure anything at all. Today, because it's the last day, I would like to ask you, what questions do you have in this remaining, let's call it hour, okay? I had in mind to come to campus today and create kind of a round circle, sit all together with drinks. I was about to say beers, but I didn't say it, right? Not that you think that I'm an alcoholic, right? And have a conversation. Say, hey, Tommaso, how can we address that? How can we address that? What can we do about ABC, right? What do you think of that? And I have just simply what I call it a master mentorship, right? Open-ended questions, right? And some question I might be able to address, some not, right? But now, given the fact that we're doing this online, this should not be a reason for us not to do it. So without further ado, if you guys think that this is of value, I thought not to do pitches like we have done last time, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we have 24 votes, so 75% are saying 9 books for one team, right, Manan? So let's do this. That we do then the 9 books. I just need to be reminded, Manan, maybe on Wednesday, or just text real quick, Olga, on a Wednesday or something. Hey, say remind Thomas to bring those books. Okay, cool. Questions. That's your turn now. Let's. We will be doing the following. Let's think of a question. Maybe you raise hands. We'll call you on stage. Okay, meaning on screen, and we'll have an hour of a conversation between all of us. Right. It can be about the pitch. It can be about your deck. It can be about your product. It can be about your team. It can be about your grades. Whatever you think that we might want to address today. It can be about, moving from school into real life startup, right? Anything that you think is relevant for you right now that might be of value for all of us, please let me know, okay? And now I go quiet and you guys start sharing here some questions. So I'll close the poll because it's set. I'll be bringing 9 books, okay? Hide from stage, close poll. Close poll, boom.
Yes.
Close poll. Really like has
perfect. And we can have, for you guys who want to come on stage, just make sure to click raise your hand in the top right corner of AirMeet. We'll bring you up here. All right, fantastic. Who would like to be the first few?
Manan, what was your highlight here in the course this semester?
Yeah, no, I can definitely say it was amazing being able to work with such a fantastic class and fantastic teaching team, professors. Everyone is very, very talented, I have to say. So, I mean, that is amazing to see all the talent coming together in one room and being able to build startups. So I'm so glad also as a freshman to be able to experience this, coming into Berkeley as my second semester here. So yeah, on to many more semesters, and would be great to connect with all of you after the course as well.
And I invited Jacob on stage because Team Healthcare has a question about the slide deck. So invited on stage. If some others from the team would like to come on stage too, please feel free to raise hands or post a question here, submit a question, and then I'll invite you on stage.
And Tommaso, could you make me co-host for one?
Of course, yes.
Yes, thank you.
Co-manage, co-host here, Manan and Sejadas.
Okay.
Jakob, guten Abend, wie geht es dir?
Danke. Guten Abend.
Guten Abend.
Könnt ihr mich hören?
Ich kann dich laut und deutlich hören. Ja, Manan.
Okay, super. So, yeah, thank you, Tomas, and thank you, Manan. We have a short question about our slide deck. I don't know if I'm able to share. Oh, let me see my video. Oh, here it is. We have a short question about our slide deck. Tommaso, one of your feedback was that we should include a funnel of our where do we stand today, what did we do, our NGOs and our partners. And I wanted to share with you the slide, if that's okay with you, and see if that's what you were asking for. Let me see.
Yeah, and actually on the point of sharing slides for the final pitch, just one thing about that is all of the details are outlined in the final deliverable, and so just make sure to attach your slides as a Google Slides presentation to our pitch deck. So that would be perfect.
Okay, I'm not able to share my screen. Can I send you a photo or something? Nope. Maybe Melissa or Risha, does anybody of you want to go on stage and share the screen? Cool. Thank you, Melissa.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I think so. Hey. Well, I'm trying also to share my screen. Yeah, perfect. Normally you can see it right now. Tell me if it's not the case. Nope. Oh no, it's not allowed. Wait, second.
Yeah, you can also click share screen and then share a Google Chrome tab, so that should be easier.
Right. No, actually it doesn't work. Sorry. Or Manan, maybe I can send you the link of the Google Slide presentation so that you can share the screen.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah, just paste it in chat and I can go ahead and open that up.
Okay. It's the slide 16. You have it on Slack normally.
Sorry for the delay.
Oh, great. Okay. Oh, you need to share it with me. Yeah, I can share my screen, but Just need to share the Google Slides with me.
I think it's done.
Okay, great. Okay, perfect. All right, so which slide were you talking about?
The 16.
Perfect. Okay, are you able to see it? Oops.
No.
Okay, let me do this one more time. Now are we able to see it? Oh. Oh my gosh.
We won't have
Okay,
to.
this works. Finally, here we are.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, where do we stand today? Okay, let me zoom out a second for everybody, right? So I remember last time you guys presented, thank you for that again, right? I don't recall exactly, and beg pardon for that, but my brain is not on a blockchain yet, right? But I remember that I don't remember what you presented for for traction, right? But my feedback, as you were saying, was show a funnel. By the way, in general, okay, this is very, I really care about what I'm saying right now. I mean it as an entrepreneur, right? If you talk with two mentors, okay, they will have 10 opinions. As an entrepreneur, what you do is always filtering what makes sense to you. Regardless if Tommaso is saying it, Ken is saying it, Dan is saying it, right? You always filter what other people are saying to you. Actually, I would like to give you even one more, let's call it tactic that has helped me in my life. When somebody gives you a feedback, okay, I like to ask the following. Oh, this is great feedback. So first is check, great feedback. And then I say, when was it the last time that you had the chance to apply this feedback? And by the way, this I learned here in Silicon Valley. And the reason why is because actually many people here that mentor you in Silicon Valley or also around the world have never ever in their life pitched a startup. Never ever in their life. Never ever. Okay? So you are actually, what is it that you are doing with that? You are filtering the opinions. Okay? So if you would have asked me, Tommaso, when, okay, great, thank you for your feedback, Tommaso. When did you apply? I would say, all my startups, I designed funnels. And the reason why I design funnel when it comes to traction is because the topic of traction, okay, is always designed within a company as a funnel. Marketing and sales is always a funnel. There is 3 funnel stages, okay? Which is tofu, mofu, bofu. Top of the funnel, top funnel, okay, the abbreviation tofu, mofu, mid of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel. And when you design a funnel, people understand the maturity level of where your deal stands. Does it make sense? So you're basically conveying 2 things. 1, that you have traction. 2, that you as an entrepreneur understand exactly the framework when it comes to go to market. So what you're showing here is the funnel, 250 surveys. Is this traction? It's light traction. Then you go a step lower, 30 contacted NGOs, 3 private clinics, 2 partners, 1 MVP. Okay, so I understand, okay, they think in funnels. Okay, by the way, what you wrote on the right side could be verbally what you say. On deck, there is a difference between the deck that you sent and the deck that you present. Mm-hmm. This is to me the deck that you sent, because then you would not verbally communicate, right? Anything. So I would say, Jonathan, conduct a survey with potential users. Ah, okay, right? But verbally, when you present it, right, you make it just bigger, right? And so the eye concentrates basically on just the 5 key points that are here, right? By the way, congratulations, 1 MVP. So, sorry, 1 MVP, are you saying 1 minimum viable product? Oh, it will be launched in India. So you mean a POC, proof of concept? Is this what you
Yeah,
mean?
maybe it was the wrong term. Yeah.
Yeah, because MVP is the result of an early product. POC
Okay.
is the result of a proof of concept.
Yeah,
Okay?
it was a proof of concept.
Okay, cool. Congratulations, guys. Did I answer your question? Are there any other things that you would like to discuss?
Yeah, like, so does it mean that we only have to present the funnel? Like, won't it be kind of empty if we just put it like this?
Again, opinions, right? You can leave it, right? What also would be very strong is when you have logos, right? Which you did, right? Because it's again an additional visual evidence of your talent and ability to actually talk with people. Like for instance, here you put it at the two partner, maybe the three last funnel stages, 3 private clinics, right? Again, if you want to delete the one on the right, these are all ideas. It's not about right or wrong, right? But I think you have a funnel, it's quantitative, people understand what you do. If you want to add the logos, I think it's always great because it gives the evidence of who it is, right? Because the more evidence, the better it is, right?
Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
Thank you so much. I think you answered our question, and it's also interesting to hear that there are always like 2 different pitch decks, right? One that you send the VCs and one that you present.
Fantastic.
Cool. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Congratulations. Cool. Next one. Who would like to come up next?
Yes. Up next, who would like to come on stage?
Risha, you're welcome.
Yeah, please raise your hand if you have any thoughts. Okay, Tommaso, looks like the class is being a little shy today. Might want
Or
to.
very prepared, right? One of the two.
Yes.
They're very confident for next week to pitch. I'm super curious to see. Very bullish, Rishba. Very bullish. I think they belong. I think they belong to those players on the market who have tactically approached the market step by step by focusing on community first, creating value second, and the team is a core team that has evidences of achievement coming from locations and having done and invested in startups. So very strong team, and the roadmap that they have is what I think a roadmap that is very strong, a very strong roadmap for value creation. Yeah. I'm actually, I don't know if you guys are listening into the podcast that I run, which is called Navigating the Metaverse, right? I'm now interviewing the second podcast, and most probably we'll be having them also as guest speakers. One of the co-founders was probably the guy who went to Stanford. Cool.
Yeah, amazing. Great to hear about your podcast.
Oh, that's a really great question. Thank you, Jacob. Um, my awesome venture is raising right now the fund focused only on metaverse as we speak. Will be announced over the next weeks/month. So not right now, not investing in metaverse, but soon. Yes. Thanks for the question. For those who are interested in these topics, metaverse, Web3, funds, investments, we are hiring right now junior position. I know that there is already a hire out there, which is a business intelligence hire for metaverse. We are hiring also at fund level a junior position to be an analyst, market analyst. So feel free to reach out if this is something that you guys might be interested in, or you know of someone. Thank you, Jake. Wow, this is a fantastic. I'm getting goosebumps, Jonathan. Well, I cannot answer this question because we have only 35 minutes left. It will take too much of the time. Joke aside, so Jonathan is asking here, you talk about how you got into entrepreneurship and the biggest lessons you have learned over the years that's not taught in the course or textbooks. Okay. I'll describe you the story of Tommaso in 2001. Okay. By the way, if you read the first book, I have an extract of how I jumped in. So first of all, I think that my DNA, and I'm very excited to share this. Right, my DNA as a person. I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs. My father, even though not the tech entrepreneurs, but my father and my mother, they were running. They were in the hospitality as in the restaurant business, right? Very typical Italian family that had a lot of restaurants. So I was literally born and raised as an entrepreneurial lifestyle, right? Meaning, you were serving culinary to a target audience, right? And what I understood now with 43 is that the fact of me being exposed early on to this environment of meeting people, being always between people, right? It created a Tommaso that was never shy, definitely not something that I have as an attribute, right? That was always proactive approaching people, that was always easy to talk with, was always thinking of what could you create next, right? Obviously, this evolved over years, right? And then coincidentally, in 1998, I got into technology, and I started in telecommunication. And then in 2001, I was actually telling Dad, when did I tell this today? I was actually, in 2001, I had a situation in which I'd never started companies before myself, not even in tech, right? And I had a situation after 3 years of, let's say, telco experience, where I started feeling that there is a new need on the market. And this was the early beginning of cloud computing. By the way, the word cloud computing, which we know today, it was mentioned the first time in 2011 or 2012 when iCloud was born. Before that, it was ISP, application service providing. Then it became a managed service. Then it became software as a service, and then it became cloud computing. The reason why I'm mentioning that is between the original concept of technology of application service providing, which is the fundament of cloud computing, and the word cloud computing. So meaning between early adopters and the mass market, it took roughly 12, 13 years. And in this period of time, I, Tommaso, back then, as a young person, right, I had done 2 startups and 2 exits already, okay? So, and while I started, I just, tripled upon this idea of solving a problem, which was the problem of spam and antivirus. In 2001 and 2002, there was a wave of initial business viruses that were basically limiting the ability for corporations to run their businesses because they were infected by viruses. And I thought to build a technology in hosting centers. Back then, no Amazon, okay? So this was called co-location or hosting centers. So what I did is that I built an MVP. I brought them software from antiviruses, and then I put the software in a server in a data center. And what I did back then in the data center, I rerouted in the DNS. And it gets a bit technical, but not too much. I'm not an engineer, but I understand enough basically to tell you what we were doing, right? So I rerouted the port 25, which was the SMTP, so the email port, and the HTTP port. So web and email in the company were cleaned and secured from data centers. So before the virus could hit basically the corporation, the gateways of the corporation, we basically cleaned here. So this was my early beginning. Did I know what I was doing? Not at all. I did not know what I was doing. Why did I do it? I was very confident, guys. I was a young guy, very confident. And again, with the DNA and ability to do customer interviews, right? I was always this guy that back then there was no HubSpot, no emails. I literally remember that when I started out my first company, Mail Plus Web, I had a small desk, like a printer desk. And on this printer desk, I had just a phone, okay, and a laptop and the yellow pages. And so I started calling a bunch of cold calling a bunch of companies. And by the way, by then, this was the call center era, right? Back then, the go-to-market strategy was call center. I was doing an average of 120 to 140 calls a day. And so, by then, after 5-6 months, I closed the first contract. By the way, back then in 2001, 2002, the word entrepreneurship did not exist. The word startup did not exist. And because of that, the word venture capital did not exist. So I really made it the first 2 companies to hit the ground running without any venture capital, with a lot of dedication, a lot of hours dedicated to my work, Saturdays, Sundays, 24/7, right? And only one mission to make it. This was only one mission to make it. And then now fast forwarded, and I want to abbreviate that. You say, what did you learn? I mean, Jonathan, it really now depends what phases are you in, okay? Because there is the learning in phase 1, meaning the first company, the first employees, the first products. Like, depending on what phase you are in, you learn different things, right? Companies today or investments today, I approach them totally different. But I'm very confident, because I'm a product in beta, in 10 years, when we will be having cappuccino conversation where you say, Tommaso, I did a multi-billion-dollar startup, I will be thinking about doing companies or investment or funds that are totally different than I'm doing today. So, well, Tommaso, what is the common denominator that I definitely can share with you? And I shared this in lesson 1 at the beginning, but I know it was the beginning of the course. And let's see if you remember. Who remembers what is the most relevant ingredient that I threw out every single company that I do, which might be the biggest challenge still nowadays, and you might have experienced too. What is it? Let's get some involvement here. What is it, class? So Leah says traction. Melissa says passion. Manan says who is it? Jacob, team. Okay, guys, are you sitting? The biggest bug in a tech company is people. Why did I fail with the companies that I failed? Meaning, why did I not exit them? Why didn't I raise more money? Because I, the one who founded / co-founded, had not spent enough time, was not capable enough, dedicated enough time to have the right partners on my side. Why did I make it in the first companies that I made? Because I did actually find the right people. So it's always about the team. Team is fundamental, guys. And I remember that it sounds almost kind of, oh, it is too easy, Tommaso, but that's the most difficult thing. Everything else that you said, resilience, passion, traction, absolutely. But if you don't put the right team together, complementary team, right? For instance, I am not an engineer. I never learned to code. I do speak some other languages, right? But I never learned to code, right? My joke is actually, the one language I should have learned, which is coding as an entrepreneur. I didn't learn. Anyhow, joke aside, right? So I never learned to code. So what is my complementary skills? My complementary skills is to have a business partner, a team, right, that comes in massively with engineering capabilities. And I'm not even talking about just the ability to code, but the ability to architecture, the ability for backups, the ability to have the most recent innovation or technology, right? This is something that obviously after 20 something year in entrepreneurship, you learn about the architectures. You are, let's say, dangerous enough to have engineering conversation, right? But I have amazingly respect, right? And I'm far from understanding what, for instance, Dan can, right? So my complementary partner is definitely in that area. Does it mean, Tommaso, that you wouldn't do business with somebody who is in business? Well, this is to me very black and white. If you are not if you're not an engineer, okay, what is it that you must be able of doing in Silicon Valley, guys? Two things: you either get to revenue or you either raise money. Oh, but Tommaso, it's challenging without product getting to revenue. Or it's challenging without product to raise money. Boom. Then you are. Then what is it you do? So my challenge that I always put on my shoulders as an entrepreneur is find the right team, build the vision, okay, the vision of where it should go, co-create the vision, and then collaborate on creating step-by-step prototypes and MVP, and then get revenue and or funding, and the revenue or funding, or either or, right? And my last startups, I raised money without any MVP. And the reason for that is because obviously you get more credibility, more evidences of what you have done, and that's kind of capable. Did I answer your question, Jonathan? I could talk for hours about that topic. That's another beer conversation. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Jonathan, for the question. Then we have a second question here. I have a question regarding the pitch. How do you manage to make an entertaining pitch with lots of storytelling and smooth transition while giving technical information about the product? Okay, Armand, phenomenal question. You're talking about transitions. You're talking about storytelling. You're asking about storytelling, and you're asking about product. Okay. Before I start jumping into this, have you, Armand, or your team watched the 2-hour video that I shared? Yes or no? I thought so, because I explained this step by step. And actually, Armand, not because, please don't get me wrong, guys, okay? The only motivation that Tommaso has to share content, write books, write on Forbes, curate the articles online on LinkedIn, I have a bunch of videos also, right, is exactly that. Because I go so much into details, into nuances, that it will take me another 2 hours to explain you the nuances. I want to give you a quick answer, and then I encourage you to go and watch that video. that I'm confident that you will have the one or the other learning in that video. Okay, so storytelling. Okay, first of all, you need to be convinced. You need to be confident enough as an entrepreneur that you are embarking on a storytelling. And the reason I am saying it, because the storytelling, everybody talks about storytelling. But imagine that you have 15,000 people in front of you and you need to tell a story. Why 15,000 people? Because automatically you get shy when you think of that and you say, why should I tell a story? Can I not, Tommaso, just talk data? Okay, there is a $80 billion market within the next 3 years, and my product is an API that connects with third parties API. Like there is this methodical approach or the storytelling approach, and the methodical approach, right, is not wrong, okay? But you're asking Tommaso, you won't be seeing Tommaso doing a methodical approach, because one thing that I believe is that the human being, since the caveman, always spoke in stories. And our brain is wired, our mind is wired to absorb, especially new concepts, easier in story. And Tommaso is an entrepreneur, because I've been always in innovation, always new stories. I was always telling stories, okay? And that's something that I've been developing over and over again, right? Then you're asking about something, a smooth transition, right? Which I use certain words. And by the way, in this deck, for those who are in this presentation, I talk exactly about that. Do not make your presentation dry. So this is the go-to-market, pause. This is the traction, pause. This is the team, pause. This is not flowing, right? You see that basically on stage, you're killing the moment, you're killing the vibe, you're killing the momentum that you would have as a team or as a human being, right? So transition is tremendously important, right? Transition conveys that you are able of entertaining, able of communicating, that you are somebody who cares about every single word. And guys, I've been doing pitches 60 seconds. It is the most challenging thing, because if I have to talk an hour on stage, I don't need too much of a preparation because I have the hour. But you have to do 60 seconds, every single word. There's no coincidence. As a matter of fact, I take presentations, Tommaso, I take presentation very, very serious. What I mean with that is when I present or pitch, every single word is rehearsed, right? And in those transition phases, I have what I call bridge sentences, right? That lead me from one question, from one slide to the next slide. And by the way, I remember that some of you used exactly the same bridge sentences that I used. There is one that I remember I've heard from one of your teams, which was about go-to-market, right? Go-to-market is the most boring slide for any investor. Why? Because you usually have the TAM, SUM, and total addressable market, and it's always multi-billion-dollar market. Now, is this relevant? Or the question is, when is this slide relevant? This slide becomes very relevant when you are presenting when you are solving a problem in an industry that is very niche, that I would not know about. I give you one concrete example. I was part of the board of a company that were streamlining the logistical tours for trucks. So meaning, in order for you to ship toilet paper from A to B, you need trucks. And those trucks face the challenge that one tour is full of those toilet papers, so of the order, and then if they drive back, it's empty. So, and they had built a platform that basically allowed them to. So, trucking business. I didn't know anything about trucking business. How many trucks? How big are the truck market? Blah. So, was the total addressable market relevant for me? Absolutely yes. right? So if you are in a space where you think that your target audience doesn't know, now the moment that you present the slide with the market, and now I'm getting to respond, Arman, to the transition, right? What you just say is, by the way, this is the one sentence that I say: the market is ginormous or is big. I don't even mention the number because it's right there. I say the market is big, that's it, and I show visually the number, 3 billion, 8 billion, 60 billion, right? And then I say, and this is the transition sentence, but let me focus on how we are going to conquer that market. And the reason why is because I always have a flow of 3 tactics: market, go-to-market, traction, always the same. Because it's a top-down approach of how you present opportunity. Market, and I say it's big. Go-to-market, what channels, what frequency, who do you approach, what are the channels, what team do you need, right? So market, go-to-market. And I would understand that more go-to-market, because go-to-market is more challenging than market. You say market is big, but let me explain you how the go-to-market works. So that's a bridge sentence, right? Market, go-to-market. And then the next bridge sentence is traction, to say, and now let me show you the result of what we did in our go-to-market, right? Go-to-market, total addressable market. Then you have market, go-to-market. Then you say, this is how we are planning to do it. And then you show how you did it, right? Product. Okay, one sentence about product. Very respectfully for all engineers. A product serves to solve a problem of a specific circumstance. When you have a presentation where you pitch in front of VC partner meetings, where they would like to understand your IP, your intellectual property, then you double down on product. If you're pitching like 99% of all pitches in Silicon Valley, which is, your 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute pitch, you have only 2 pillars in the products. And it's always the user perspective. The one, you begin always with the solution. Okay, what does it mean, solution? Those who have watched the video, now I actually go into the video, right? Once you spoke about the problem, you say, ta-da, and this is the solution. The solution usually is the value proposition. We do this for them by doing that. That's the solution, okay? And then after the solution, you actually show step 1, step 2, step 3 of the user journey, okay? So again, we talk about the problem, and people are, wow, this is a problem, this is a problem, this is a problem. You say, and by the way, this is where we come in place. We are a product that solves a specific problem for this target audience by leveraging this technology and enable them to reach more revenue. Boom. And then my mind says, well, now I'm curious, how are you doing this? And you respond, well, let me show you how we do it. Step 1, you download the app, you go online, you do this. Step 2, the frequent asked question that I get when you present a product is, well, Thomas, our platform is way too big to present all the features. And that's the problem. You are in an early stage company. You are in an early stage startup. What you present is the core of your prototype, which is exactly solving the one problem in a valuable way, right? So you focus on your main product journey. Did I answer your question? In any case, not in 2 hours. So this is the short form. Please feel free to watch the video if you think it's of value. Yes. Was this of value, guys? Not of value? Value? Not of value. Oh, the entire class slept. You guys sleeping? Not there? You left? Video is good advice to watch. Okay. Cool. Valuable. Pauline, thank you. Thank you, Mom.
Yes, that was amazing.
Any other questions? Guys, next week you are pitching, guys.
Yes.
We have 20 minutes left. I'm not saying that I know everything, but I'm happy to share what I know. So happy to take the one or the other question. I would be interested in your opinion on the startup scene in Europe, maybe also compared to the Bay Area. Great question, Jacob. Okay. I make this real quick, Jacob, because I think, how many people are here from Europe? Raise your hands or say aye here in the chat. How many from Europe? Quite some. Let me respond that way. First of all, again, you're asking Tommaso. I've been now 12 years, almost 12 years here in the Bay Area. When I moved to the Bay Area, I give you the feedback why I moved to the Bay Area. You guys want to know why I moved to the Bay Area? Nobody. Yes. Okay. The reason why I moved to the Bay Area is because in my third startup, CloudPlace, I started raising almost 12 years ago funds. Again, for the first time, Tommaso had started raising funds throughout Europe. I was in London, obviously Germany. I was in France, right? The Italians don't have money. I'm just joking, But I was just about to create for the first time a company with funds, okay? And I always had been my own investor. Not that I come from a wealthy family, guys. I started my own startup from scratch, but I had made enough money to always invest in my other companies. Does it make sense? So I always was my angel investor, which, by the way, this is a second topic I would not advise to anybody. Why? Just real quick, because you should always get money from others because it's a sign of beliefs. So you always believe in what you do, but others need to believe in what you do. Anyhow, topic aside. So I think that over the last 10 years, Europe has matured like a lot in terms of frameworks, in terms of access to money, okay? What is still unique in Silicon Valley is that Silicon Valley, as the innovation hub, has 8 decades of a reputation for innovation. And as a matter of fact, I would not want to do business somewhere else. It is very challenging to get established yourself in Silicon Valley because the competition is tremendously well trained. Smartest people, a lot of people raising money, like the competition is huge. But if you are persistent enough, and I was not born to lose, if you are persistent enough and you make it to penetrate the market, and by saying penetrate, to say by adding value to the market, what you learn here in Silicon Valley is unique. Does it mean that, Tommaso, you would have started, like if I look back when I started in 1998, and I would have made here the move to Silicon Valley, I definitely would be in a different position in terms of impact and scale, if it makes sense what I'm saying. And I don't necessarily mean it financially, right? I mean it really from what you could have done in your early 20s versus what I was able of doing in my 30s and what I'm starting doing with my 40s, right? So I definitely say the younger you are, you definitely need to be here, be involved here, like everybody is, right? You have a great trampoline. Everybody of you are part of an amazing university. So leverage that to the maximum. As a matter of fact, I recall that the early conversations or the early mentorship that you had access to great mentors. I know it was too early for all of you, but these are people that if you are intended to do something, some real business, you can always touch base with them again, right? So long story short, Tommaso, I would not initiate business in Europe. If you can and you are starting out, I would definitely start out here. Now, is it wrong to do something in Europe? Absolutely not. I mean, Europe, I'm European. Europe has given me a lot. It's an amazing place also to do business. Is it close to Silicon Valley? There is nothing close to Silicon Valley yet. It is my pleasure, Jacob. Thank you for the question. How to expand? Let me put this one here. Show on stage. Okay. This is absolutely my playground, by the way, Yuvan. How do you expand sales? Um, hey there.
Hello. Hey, hello. So basically, this is a question out of the pitch. So if it is not appropriate, maybe we can chat offline. But actually, my question is, when a company is fundraised, especially it is a B2B business, so you have like, you can imagine that it's like 2 or 3 sales in the team. Then we fundraise like Series A, and then just like how to expand the sales since then. Because like say, okay, we have money, do we need to hire sales, or we need to like go to the show to attract the customers first, or something like that?
So the topic of sales depends if you are a B2B or a B2C company. Okay. The topic of sales in general, which leads to growth of the company in Silicon Valley, needs always to have a mini-max approach. What does it mean? Minimum input, maximum outcome. The more you show salespeople, like sales structure, the higher the probability that if you talk to investor, that there will be disliking what you're doing. What is it that investors do like, right? Things like Slack. Do you need sales? Yes, but it's a sales which is distribution by design within the product. Like, how can you create an intelligent way of embedding the distribution mechanism within the product? Okay, I give you 2 hints. Read the book 0 to 1 from Peter Thiel, and he speaks about the distribution by design. Or I have some chapters in my first book, which is how to growth hack your startup. Okay, so if you separate, amazing, thank you so much. If you separate the topic of go-to-market from the topic of the product, you are going to end up of having always way more costs on the sales side of things, because you are not integrating the two together. I always like to advise the startup to think early on. Okay, what is a pitfall, Yuguan? A typical pitfall, dear class. When people call me and say, well, Thomas, I need your advice. And I say, okay, cool. We finished the product. We're thinking of go-to-market. What should we do? And I already know, is it not possible? Yes, it is possible, but it's way more difficult. Why? Because the go-to-market, the ability to have loops of sharing, referral, engaging with others, lend and expand strategy, freemium to premium strategy, it starts within the product. Okay? If you're thinking of doing a very, very typical sales-oriented approach, is only if you have a B2B product, okay, that is very almost old style, almost Web 2. So I would not expect that anybody here in the class, okay, has a very old style sales approach where you separate the product from the go-to-market. So start asking your product, how can we make an invite through within the product? Like, for instance, I know your product, right? Your is the predestination of inviting others, having ambassador programs, having referral programs, having a land and expand strategy, having a freemium and premium strategy, right? Which automatically then creates a different kind of a sales. Instead of front loading you with sales, meaning with people who do demos, hey, you going, hi, thanks for taking the time. Let me share my screen. This is old style, right? You basically create a sales strategy head who then coordinates customer success and post-sales people, right? So this would be more, you have a lot of people in the coming inbound, right, from a freemium model, and then you have people following up once they have achieved a certain funnel event, if it makes sense, right? Did I answer kind of your question? Thank you, Hugo. 10 minutes left. If you have any other questions. I love the confidence of this class. They're amazingly prepared for next Thursday. Let's rock, class. Make some noise.
Yeah, looks like everyone is very well prepared, as we see so far. Awesome, Tomaso, you were asking for any final questions?
You know what, class? Wow, I have an idea that I would like to bounce off, and maybe today I had an interview which was about the future of work, education, and so on, right? And again, maybe you follow Tommaso or not, right? I also write for Forbes. I was thinking and this just got now to my mind. If a couple of you guys or gals would be interested in co-creating a lesson learned, insights of UC Berkeley, decentralized app, blockchain, kind of what are the advices for others, what did we learn, things that we can share with others. I'd be super down to write an article and make reference to your name, and this is what you said, this is what she said, this is how the experience was, maybe talking about the syllabus, what the learnings were, how is this different than Web 2, showing what we learned. Is this a kind of a dumb idea, or anyhow, I just bounced it off. If some of you, Manan, if you are interested, some of you might be interested.
Yeah.
Please connect with me on the Slack channels. I'm more than happy to create. Take some pictures, share it with the press, right? Because it doesn't exist, guys. What we are doing here is not a traditional class, right? We're talking about Web3, blockchain. It doesn't exist, and so it's something that the world would love to know.
Sounds like a fantastic idea. Yeah, I could make a Google document, have everyone drop their insights, and that would work great.
Absolutely, yeah. This is a great idea. Yeah, let's create a Google Doc. Maybe we create some question like, how is this different from Web 2? Okay, question number 1. Question number 2 is what changed the way you think, the before and after? How did you get into the class? And what did impact you the most, right? You can badmouth about Tommaso in the article. I'm kidding. What else? What else would like the world to know? Why do you believe that this is here to stay, right? Web3, blockchain, right? What advice are you giving to the next generation, right? In terms of link to blockchain and Web3, what's your vision, right, on that? Right? These are all questions that press would eat it up, right? And then we take pictures, right? We share it within the And for those who really think of taking the product to real life, we can even talk about your product, right? I mean, the most recent was Yu Guang, who was here. If you guys want to say, hey, this is what we were piloting, blah, 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 we can talk even about that, right? And we call it as a Web3 semester at UC Berkeley Insights, something like that, right?
Yes. Sounds perfect.
So I have Pauline, Melissa. Wow. What is that? Florent, Yuguan, many books. Well, I promised myself starting with 40, I want to do each year a book. So I'm writing already my third one, by the way. Florent Passalacqua, Italian family name. Pauline, absolutely, yeah, let's do this, guys. 5 minutes left. Any last questions?
Yeah, as you were talking, Tommaso, I wrote up our Google document, so it's all set and ready to go already.
That's really great.
As you were speaking live.
Love it, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so I think also, Tommaso, in the remaining 5 minutes, it would be great to just talk about a little bit about just some of the things for the end of our semester, if that would be all right.
Do you want to share something, or you want me to share something on that?
Oh yeah, no, just some of the details for next week that we can share.
Yeah, go ahead. Take it from here.
Okay, sounds great. So yeah, definitely we are again very excited for next Tuesday, where we have our technical demo. We just updated, actually, as throughout class, we were just updating all of the assignments on B courses. So definitely submit your presentation with the demo in the Google Drive folder as linked in the post. Secondly, we also have all of our final deliverables linked in the Google Docs. So again, make sure to read that through very closely to see what is due when. Our final pitch is going to be again on Thursday, April 28th, next week, not at Berkeley time and in the Sibley Auditorium. So we are very excited to have the big stage and have some in-person juries. So it will be a great, exciting event. Again, 3 minutes for your pitch. So this is due to the constraints from the Collider Cup, which has requested that it would be 3 minutes per pitch. So we are keeping those same guidelines. And just so that you're exactly prepared for the Collider Cup if you are selected as a winning team. And finally, we also have another amazing opportunity, which is to recognize the outstanding course staff by awarding the Best Instructor and the Best Course Assistant awards. So you have the wonderful opportunity to nominate your instructor, either Tommaso or Dan, or any of the teaching team, either myself or Tim, for Best Instructor or Best Course Assistant. So that would be amazing. It would be great to see us recognized in the final Collider Cup ceremony. So I will drop the link to the form, and it would be fantastic if you fill that out. Yeah, all of these announcements are posted on General as of right now. So it would be amazing, and we are super excited to see you all next week. So yeah, Tommaso, any closing thoughts?
I can't believe it. It's the last class. I'm almost set. Thank you so much again, guys. Manan, Tim, thank you so much for the insane support. Oh, here's some more question. It's a 3-minute pitch. Yeah, absolutely 3-minute pitch. I'll see you next week. Yeah, I think we have. Do we share the video again, Manan? Maybe the video might be okay.
Everything is posted on B Courses, Slack, everywhere.
Okay. So. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, without further ado, again, thank you so much. I'll see you next Thursday on campus, and I'll meet you in the metaverse.
Yeah, and attendance code is finale. So we are super excited getting ready for the next week, which is the finale. So good luck, everyone. You got this for the final stretch and submit everything on time. Thank you all.
Make some noise. See
Yeah.
you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye. Bye, guys.